Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 130 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy you're here with me today. It is a gorgeous autumn day here. It is Saturday, October 8th, 2022. And we have a few little puffy white clouds in the sky. It's on the coolish side. It was only 40 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. I think it's up to the mid to upper 50s right now. Beautiful weather. Beautiful weather. Oh, this is my time of year. I love this time of year. So I've had a good knitting week. I've got a lot done, but it doesn't look like I've got a lot done. Yeah. And since I've been doing Vlogtober, I've been talking to you every day this week so far. And I don't have a lot of extra chit chat. So let's see if this is actually a shorter video or if I'll probably still manage to talk for half an hour. I seriously, I get paid to talk for a living, so I can talk. I can always talk. Anyway, let's look at what I've been knitting this week. So my first whip is my Rachel top, and this is a pattern by Veronica Joby. Oh, I'm going to be spending months pronouncing this poor woman's name probably incorrectly. If anyone knows how to pronounce her name properly, please let me know. But anyway, this is a pattern I've been working on for a few weeks now, and I'm making decent progress. I say it's going to be a while before I'm finished it, but it's lacy, it's all scrunchy bunchy so far. But this is a nice A-line tee. The lace is all over the body and the sleeves are plain stockinette. It has two fun little panels along the side that run up from the bottom hem up to the armpit, and those panels are over time, every so many rows you decrease 2 stitches, so that's gradually going to go down into a long pyramid. Oh, I had a pyramid, a long triangle. And since I saw you last week, okay, let's not take stitches off the needles, Karen. Since I saw you last week, I was at this marker down here. So I've done a fair bit of work on here. I've added about maybe 2 inches. See what I mean? I've done a lot of knitting, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot to show you. So I've added nearly 2 inches on here, and I'm loving the way this is coming out. It's a fun pattern, and I'm not going to be able to show it to you because I'm afraid I'm going to pull my stitches off the needles and I would cry. So it's a pretty little lace pattern, and I am excited to keep working on it and to get it done. It's coming along slowly, mainly because it's an awful lot of stitches all the way around. So each round takes me a while to do, but I'm loving the process. So I'm using 3.5mm needles, or US size 4, and I'm using loops and thread wool-like. This is a light fingering weight yarn, and there's something like 678 yards per 100 grams. So I have 3 balls of this, so it should be plenty. The color of this one is Teal Lake, and it's a pretty kind of a dusty teal kind of color. I love the color. You'll see in just a minute I am apparently on a little bit of a teal kick right now, but which is fine because it's a beautiful color. So that's my one whip that I've been working on for a little while, and I'm making decent progress on it. My other whip that I started on Thursday, any guesses what that is? I cast on Thursday my Twists and Turns shawl, which is the Westknits MKAL for 2022. And so far I'm enjoying the knit. I have very little done. Very little done. I was overtired on Thursday, so I really didn't get a lot done on Thursday. Mainly because I found the cast on took me a while to do, and the first row took me a while to do. So spoiler alert, on Thursday all I managed to do is the cast on in one row. And on Friday I did 3 more rows, and today I've done 1 row. That was on Saturday. So yeah, I do not have much to show you on that. So the yarn I'm using for it, I'll talk about it first, and then I'll give you a spoiler alert, and then I will show you what I have, so that anyone who is working on this and does not want to see what the design looks like, although at the point where I am right now, I honestly don't think there's too many spoilers happening yet, because it's not really, I don't even know what it's going to look like when I'm finished the first clue. There are pictures of what the fabric looks like for the first clue up on the Ravelry thread, the spoiler thread. I have not looked at the spoiler thread. I read the first message on there, and I have not gone back. There's hundreds and hundreds of posts on that thread now, but I have not looked at it because so far I do not want to see any spoilers of what it's going to look like. That's a noisy motorcycle. Anyway, so I'm using Holst Super Soft. I have 3 colors. The first clue we're only using the main color and the contrast color. The accent color will come in later. I don't know when. So I'm using for this my main color and my contrast color. These 2 guys from Holst Super Soft. So the teal, there we go, see a trend? The teal is my main color, and the gray is my contrast color. I decided to use the light blue. So far I think it's the light blue I'll be using for my accent color. So the teal is larkspur. The gray is flannel gray, are the names of the colors. So this is the Holst Super Soft. And I'm also using size 3.5 millimeter needles, or US 4. That was the size that is suggested. And when I did my little swatch, the stitch gauge, unblocked, the stitch gauge came out pretty much bang on for using the 3.5 millimeter or 3.5 millimeter or US 4 needles on this. So again, my main and contrast color are the teal and gray, and then this light blue will be my accent color. So as I mentioned, I don't know what this clue looks like when it's done yet, and I'm planning on getting a lot more done on it in the next few days. I would like to finish clue number 1 in time for the next clue to come out on Thursday. I don't know if I'll manage that, but I am going to try to at least get the first clue done in the week. The past couple days I would work on that earlier in the day, and then in the evening when we were watching TV, I put the MKAL aside and worked on the Rachel top, just because by evening I really didn't have any extra brain space to concentrate and focus on an MKAL. So I just put it aside and thought I'll just come back to it in the morning and earlier in the day. I suspect that'll change once I start to get the hang of the stitches and what's going on in each of the color repeats. So far I'm not at that point yet. I've done the cast on, I've done one color repeat, and I'm starting the second color right now. So once I've gone through the repeats a couple times, like the little stripy type of repeats, once I have the hang of the pattern, then I'll be able to get going and knit a lot faster on it. Right now, I'm painfully slow at it. So it is what it is. So I am going to show you what I have knit so far. So I will give you a spoiler alert just before I'm going to put what little bit of fabric I have created. Once I'm ready to put that onto the screen, I'm just untangling my yarn right now. I was in mid-row earlier, so I finished a row before I started taping. So what I'll do is I will give you a spoiler alert. I'll put like a note along the side here with the spoiler alert, and I will tell you what time it is safe to come back and look again. And then that way, if you do not want to see what the pattern looks like, you can skip past that point from when I put the spoiler alert sign up until when it says at the bottom of the spoiler alert when it's safe to come back and look. So if you don't want to see what it looks like, you can look away and come back in a couple minutes, and then you won't have seen what little bit of fabric I have done looks like, which at this point I honestly don't think it really gives away too much yet, because I don't have much done. Hopefully when I see you next week I will have I better have a lot more done, or else I'll be so painfully behind that I'll finish it in January. Which is fine. I've done that before. So without further ado, final warning, spoiler alert coming up in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so here is what I have so far. As I said, there's not a whole heck of a lot to look at here yet. That's all I've got. So as I mentioned, it starts with an I-cord, or I didn't mention, but it starts with an I-cord cast on, which took me forever. I love the look of it, but it takes me quite some time to do an I-cord cast on. So here's what it's looking like. So it looks like it's going to have a bit of a chevron shape, and then we've got these funky little things happening here, these big holes. Now there is something that we do with this section later. I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know exactly what's going on with that. And like I say, I have not looked at the spoilers yet, so. So here is where we're at. So I don't know what it's going to look like. Once we get to the end of this section, we are going to bind off. So we'll just have a square or a rectangle, and then where it goes from there, which twist and what turn we have, I don't know. So if you looked away, it's safe to look back again. I put the fabric aside. No more spoilers from now on out. So it's coming along slowly, and I've got a long way to go before I'll be finished with the first clue, which is fine. So as I've said, I have not seen pictures of what the fabric looks like, what the pattern looks like quite yet. So I don't know if I'm going to love it or not. We shall see. Either which way, I will enjoy the process of knitting it, and if it's not my cup of tea when it's all done, I have a gift to give someone. So we'll look at it that way. And who knows, it might be something that I absolutely love. This is my 4th Westknit MKAL. The first one, wasn't my favorite. That was Texture Time. Not my favorite. Then I did Slipstravaganza and Shawlography, and I love those two. And so now we're doing Twists and Turns. So we shall see if this stays in the I absolutely love it category and goes to the majority, or if it's one that I'm like, and then I'm half and half, 50-50 on the MKALs. Either which way, I love following along with it, and I love the surprise element of the whole thing. So that's all my knitting for the week. I'm gonna say I did a lot of knitting, but it doesn't feel like I had a whole awful lot to show you guys. I have been busy this past week, as if you've been watching any of my Vlogtober posts. I've been up to this and that all week, and so there's not a lot of extra chit-chatty stuff to cover because I talk about it every day with you. So I will be posting my vlog from things I did earlier today. I'll get that posted and published first thing tomorrow morning for you guys to look at. And I'll get the editing done on this video and get the podcast up and posted later on this afternoon. And I think I'm just gonna veg out this evening. I was tired this afternoon, I had a nap, which is why it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm finally getting around to filming this. But you'll see more about why you'll see more about why I'm late filming today when you watch the Vlogtober post in the morning. So I think that's about it. This week coming up, I foresee only working on the Westknits MKAL and my Rachel top. I don't foresee myself working on anything else or casting. I don't have any other projects on the needles. The only other thing I have that I want to work on, I don't think I'll do it tonight. A friend of mine at church was knitting a scarf, and she got to the end, bound it off, and was not happy with the way she bound it off, and she thought it was too tight. It went from looser at one end to skinnier at the other end. So she asked me if I would be able to undo the bind off end and get it to a point where she could knit the bind off again. So I haven't had a chance. She gave it to me earlier in the summer and I just haven't had a chance to look at it. She was in no hurry to get it because it wasn't cold in the summertime. But now it's starting to cool off, so I would like to get that, look at that for her and see if I can get that back to the point where she can go back to working on it again. So I'll show you that I'll probably show you that in one of the vlog posts this week. So that's about it for today, or for this week for the podcast. I shall let you go, and I will talk to you about my knitting in a lot more detail next Saturday, and I'll see you day by day for the rest of the month doing my vlogs. Alrighty, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.